how can they make another Saw movie when Jigsaw, John, whatever you want to call him, has been dead for many movies now?
Can a hilarious comedian make a good horror movie?
And does Samuel L. Jackson say the F word in this movie?
All that and more on Gory Storytime.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
What? All right. A little sneak preview.
In case you couldn't tell, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and welcome to episode 201
Yes.
of Gory Storytime.
Last week, you may have seen our big, spectacular episode 0.
It's literally go to factdate.com, go to YouTube, whichever, watch it up, enjoy it. It's almost an hour and a half. We had someone who doesn't pay attention when we're in here filming watch it, and all she kept telling us was how hilarious it was. So, we're not just saying it because it's us. But let me quickly answer the questions before we get into stuff. Watch Spiral and See. Watch Spiral and See. And watch Spiral, and actually, I'll just say it. Yeah, he does. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Right. Yeah, I mean, literally.
I mean, it would be stupid
It's an R-rated movie with Sam Jackson if he didn't. If it was a PG-13 movie with Sam Jackson, he's the one.
I mean, they even almost let him say it in the MCU, but then he dusted.
Right.
But they did.
Yeah. All right. So we are reviewing Spiral, in case you couldn't tell by all the talk of Spiral.
The spin-off of Saw, and it is
In
a
the
legit
book of Saw.
Well, it is a legit spin-off.
It is.
It's the same universe. It makes perfect sense the way they did it, and it's not Jigsaw again. It's not like...
And it's not like a bad way of doing a derivative killer.
Right. They make it make sense, but we'll get into that more later. Basic story is Chris Rock
Is a cop.
is a fan of Saw. No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
He plays a cop who turned in a dirty cop, and all the cops hate him, so he doesn't want a partner because screw them. And his last partner was who
because
he
of the
reported.
Right.
And
Exactly.
now cops are showing up dead that are crooked, and he has to try to stop this killer from killing crooked cops, even though they all hate him for turning in a crooked cop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the basic premise.
Yeah.
And the killer was inspired by the character of Jigsaw.
John, whatever, yeah.
Anything you can think of?
There's not much more to say other than roll the trailer.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Get everybody out of here.
This package just came in.
Get everybody out of here.
Play me.
Hello, Detective Banks. Do you know where your officers are?
Jigsaw?
Wait, I thought the Jigsaw Killer was dead.
He is.
Find him. hours, not days.
How can I catch this guy? If there's nobody on the force, I can bust!
You can't do this alone.
Whoever did this has another motive. Something personal.
When was the last time you saw your father?
Jigsaw copycat. This is gonna go sideways fast.
All available units, officer down.
That was just a diversion to get us out of the precinct! I need everyone on this case! He could be anywhere. He could be anyone. We're gonna tear this city apart. I'm gonna spin like a spiral.
Hello, Detective Banks. When was the last time you saw your father?
Well, all right then. Anything else you want to say before we start the show?
I would say go get you a way to watch this movie. Find a way to watch this movie before we go and spoil it for you.
Well, no, I'm going to try to avoid.
New.
Yeah, I'm going to try to not spoil the twist ending and.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the twist, but there's stuff.
Yeah, but the other thing we have to do before we get into the behind the scenes stuff is, for those of you who've watched the show before, you know why we really do this. It ain't. I mean, yes, we love horror movies. Yes, we like watching horror movies together. No, that's not why we do this. We do this because if you sell yourself to big corporations, they will pay you money to promote their stuff. I'm talking just Brinks trucks backed up to the house. Doot, doot, doot.
Yeah.
Gold bullion is what we're charging now just to make it, because so many people are coming to us. We got to, you know, we got to make it a little more a pain in the ass for them. It's like, you want us?
Yeah.
All right. Gold bullion it is.
It's it's gold, and it's
and this week the money we made,
$4,000 and $2 bills.
Sure. You're so stupid. And so am I.
Yeah.
But this week the show is brought to you by Going Out with a Bang, the funeral service for horror fans. We take the corpse and recreate a death scene from the deceased's favorite scary film. Love Freddy? How about 4 slashes right through the suit with blood dripping? You like Saw? We pose you in a trap set to automatically go off just before your friends and family get to say their goodbyes. Many other options are available. That's Going Out with a Bang. Find us on the web.
And by My Big Book of Big Actors in Horror. We go through the history of big actors who have graced the screen in horror flicks, from Johnny Depp and Kevin Bacon to Sarah Michelle Gellar and Chris Rock. The hardcover has a bonus of 20 full color shots of these actors in the films. That's My Big Book of Big Actors in Horror. Look for it today.
And I've seen the book. It's 20 pages, double-sided. Picture on each side. Aha.
40 then.
That's 40 photos, yes.
Wow.
Yes, 20 times 2 is 40. Very good.
Look at that.
Now,
Higher learning.
No, boy. Watch the special if you want to get that joke, quote unquote.
Maybe.
All right, you go first with the behind the scenes stuff.
All right. Chris Rock is a fan of the Saw franchise and pitched the idea to Lionsgate. As a result, they made him one of the lead actors, a co-writer, and an executive producer.
I mean, yeah. He went in and went, I know how you could do a Saw movie, and they went, Chris Rock, comedian Chris Rock, sure you do.
And then they did
he walked
this.
out with a picture deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. According to the director, Darren Lynn Bousman, I don't know, a trap consisting of someone getting their face cut off had to be cut from the film to still receive an R rating from the MPAA. To which I say, to the MPAA.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that.
I wonder if
scene.
we didn't look for deleted scenes. It might be there.
The police basement vault door is manufactured by a company called Jules and Vincent. This is a reference to the characters played by John Travolta and Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
No kidding.
That's cool.
The first film in the series that was not released in October.
Oh. The previous title, working title, was The Organ Donor.
What a dumb title. I mean, that doesn't really fit, actually.
No.
Darren Lynn Bousman was unsettled while filming the first scene with Sam Jackson, who was playing Marcus Banks. He told the actor what to do for a shot, and Jackson said, nah, and added he was going to sit in a different spot instead. My butthole puckered, said Bousman, but after speaking to a friend who had worked with Jackson, he realized the actor was just testing to see if he was a filmmaker who would stand up for what he wanted. He does seem like the guy that would be like,
Jackson does seem like that kind of guy.
I'll do what you want as long as you stand up for yourself. If you don't have a spine, I'm going to be over here fucking off.
That's him. There is no mention of Dr. Lawrence Gordon, Mark Hoffman, or Logan Nelson, the main characters from the previous Saw films. Dr. Gordon was alive at the end of Saw the Final Chapter, where he locked up Hoffman with no chance to escape. Logan was alive at the end of Jigsaw. Their fates remain undisclosed in this film.
Among the Jigsaw crime board set up by Detective Banks, a picture of Obie Tate, the victim of the nerve gas house from Saw 2, is shown.
Chris Rock is the second actor to write and star in a Saw film. The first was Lee Whannell, who co-wrote and starred in Saw.
Yeah, him and the director wrote the first one together, and
he was the guy who's not Carol Elwes.
Yeah.
Carol. I don't know.
Carrie.
Carrie.
But I knew who you meant. In order to secure an R rating, the film had to be submitted 11 times. All other attempts resulted in an NC-17.
I want to see all those.
I do too.
With theaters across the world closed due to the outbreak of COVID-19, Lionsgate pushed back the film from May 15 to May 21st. On March 24th, 2021, it was announced that the film was going to be released May 2021 instead.
Well, May 14th instead of the 21st, a week early.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
It was a year later, but a week early. Darren Lynn Bousman revealed that he was very angry during the finger skinning sequence, knowing that they lost so much of it to the whims of the MPAA. You saw every finger break, every bone pop, every knuckle snap.
Ooh, I gotta look through the deleted scenes. The killer uses a pig mask to hide their identity, similar to Jigsaw from the previous films in the franchise. However, their motives for choosing a pig is different. Jigsaw wore a pig mask because he started his work at a Chinese restaurant, in the Chinese Year of the Pig. I don't know why I said restaurant.
Right.
The killer in this film uses a pig as the mask and puppet, the mask paying homage to Jigsaw, while the puppet is alluding to the fact that the killer views the police officers as pigs.
Not all of them. I won't get into that too much, but Darren Lynn Bousman wanted a subway tunnel, but he was told the logistics weren't in the budget. He held his ground, and eventually they built a subway tunnel to meet their needs. It was a tiny set that used forced perspective to make things look bigger than they are. I'm glad they explained forced perspective.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson's very first line of dialogue on his very first day of production was, "Motherfucker."
That's a shock. This is Chris Rock's first horror film, but he's a fan.
All right. There was no puppet in the original script, but Darren Lynn Bousman insisted on its return in some form. The result was Mr. Snuggles, the marionette pig cop.
Now you have to get that doll. And unabashedly call it Mr. Snuggles. I already pick on you for having dolls. You want a Mr. Snuggles, do you?
Kinda.
The scene in the church was originally set to be filmed in a basement, but Chris Rock wasn't having it. He walked Darren Lynn Bousman to a nearby church and said they should film it here. And while the director doubted they would be given access, Rock made it happen. He did the same with another scene, moving it from a repeated location to a nearby diner.
In the second film in the series to be framed at 235-1, the first film to be framed at 235-1 was Jigsaw.
So it's like the last two, basically. Zeke is a shortened variant of Ezekiel, a reference to the passage Ezekiel 25:17 is quoted by Jules Winnefeld in Pulp Fiction, played by Sam Jackson in '94.
All right.
Alrighty.
And the...
Oh, and we like to tell you the Rotten Tomato scores. And this one got shafted, if you ask me. Well, first of all, horror movies and comedy movies have a real hard time. Very specific ones do really well. This, unfortunately, didn't seem to fit that for the people.
That's the critics.
You do the critics. I do the people. You always do the critics, you weirdo.
Okay, well then...
Don't I? I thought I always did the people. Now we have to go watch our own show. And
all right, well then let's just do it wrong this time. If it's wrong, whatever, I don't care. Just do it.
But, all right.
That's the critics.
That's the critics? The critics have it at 35%.
And the people have it at 75%.
Which makes more sense.
Yeah, and now I don't remember which one of us was supposed to say which one. I don't think it really matters. But
I think it's always been me doing the people and you always doing the critics.
All right, well, I'll go back and check.
I mean, that's what it is.
All right.
All right, now we're going to talk about our favorite and least favorite scenes.
And
let's go with the least favorite because I know we pretty much both like this.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Let's go with the tougher thing to call.
All right, you know what? My least favorite, even though I loved it. All right.
Because he understands how favorites and least favorites work.
Well, it made me feel the most horrible, so I'll go with that one, which is in the very beginning of the movie. The first trap or whatever that's set up is this guy has his tongue ripped out.
Basically, he has like bear trap kind of thing, like they've used in multiple Saw movies, but it's just over his tongue because he was an officer that had lied in court and got people sent to prison wrongfully, and basically he could let gravity rip his tongue out and get away, or he would stay there and get hit by a subway train. It was pretty gruesome.
And regardless of how the train part happens, his tongue comes out.
Yes, you will see that. And that's not much of a spoiler. It's the first thing. And they kind of showed some of it in the trailer. They didn't show the tongue sticking out because I think they thought that was too gruesome for the trailer just to have his tongue sticking through. All right. My least favorite part probably is the way they did the reveal of who the killer was. Or, like, it was who the killer was and how they did it. I'm not going to say who it is, but there are tropes that I've seen used over and over and over again. And I like Chris Rock. I love his comedy. I like this movie a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But he fell into a couple of pretty generic things when it came to who, why, and how to reveal it.
Right, yeah.
Without giving it away, that's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene, though?
One of the last traps, somebody is hanging up like this, and a bunch of glass is getting broken and shot at him. And it's just disgusting.
And it's stabbing
awesome.
and slicing, and it's great. All right, well, my thing, it wasn't a trap so much. You see a human body being peeled. Their skin is being peeled off of their body, and as gory as it is, I can't believe that got left in the context of they've tried to keep.
Oh my goodness!
They probably cut out some other stuff to let that be as gruesome as it was because it
looked like someone getting their skin peeled off.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly, and I liked it. I mean, it's awful, it's gross, and
disgusting.
I loved it.
It's amazing. So, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, now here's the thing. Because
I disagree with both of these.
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to go with a 7.5, actually, which is about what that is out of 10. And the reason it's as low as it is isn't because it's not good. It's because while it fits in the franchise and everything.
Those tropes brought it down for you?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
I am going a whole point more than you, and I'm going to say 8.5.
I'm going to correct it and just go up to 8 because some of the traps were pretty gnarly and I did like them, so I'm going to give it a little.
I'm going to go 8.5 because I think that not only is it a great way to, like, A, reintroduce the series, and B, introduce it to a new audience, because the people who were watching it as adults in 2004, it might be a different group of people watching it all together now.
Mm. And those people would still
want to go back and
it does it in a way that plays to both groups. You don't have to have seen the others because it does.
Because it spoils that John died in 3 or whatever. Like
everybody knows that he had died, and they kept bringing him back for future movies anyway.
Yeah. So,
in ways that worked. But I would say, just like I would say about the Saw movies, I compare this to what was that show? Criminal Minds.
Yeah, it's very
or
Criminal
even
Minds-esque.
SVU with less sex. Those shows show the same kind of gore almost. Without the traps,
without the skinning,
without peeling skin. But there are people.
I saw somebody get scalped on that show.
Yeah, so they do have some gory stuff, and I would say they're all R-rated versions of episodes of those shows, which isn't a bad thing. I like those
Not
shows.
a bad
I've
thing
seen
at
every
all.
episode
Love
of
Criminal Minds.
So don't take that as a diss. But I would say everyone talks about how gory the first one is, and it's it's really not.
The first one's not.
No, this one definitely went there.
Oh yeah.
But
so I think the consensus is
8.5.
Go and get you a copy of this.
Yeah.
Own this.
Yeah.
Make it a part of your collection because it is damn good.
Yep. And then look out for our version called Dumbass from the Spiral Notebook of Saw.
Why?
I don't know, because I would just love to write something called that. Now I just got to come up with the content.
Dumbass, the Spiral Notebook of Saw.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at this. You could watch this show on Fact TV channel 1076 Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook, and by us I mean Gory Storytime has a page and Fact TV has a page. Go ahead and like that. You can watch some stuff live. This is usually recorded live. I'm assuming it is. So, hey, anyone that's watching, if you're not watching, then how did you hear me say that?
Telepathy. You can go to www.factdate.com and watch all the back episodes of this show because we know you love this show.
And there's, again, episode 200. It's almost an hour and a half. It's a movie. Worth of us giving our top 5s, some music, some.
Oh yeah.
We pitched some other ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, we got people that work here at Fact TV in on some of the stuff. We got people from other shows on some of the stuff. All
right.
It was a team effort.
Tweeters.
Yes.
You can follow me at Jiggly Firm Brain,
where he tweets things that I say, or you can follow me at Craig Jakes, all lowercase, all one word, where I tweet things I
that
think
he says. Yeah. And until next time with another movie, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and
sweet dreams.